I'm recording. Are you recording?
I'm recording.
Hi, Kate.
Hi, Marty.
How are you?
I'm not a therapist. Neither are
It's a good thing you clarified. You know what? I see why this is confusing. So, yes, listener, you might have also been confused. Apparently, this is a thing that's happening on the internets. Kate and I are not therapists. The name is ironic.
I know we used to tell people, like, up front, we're not therapists. But we
did such a great job.
For a little while.
We need to bring it back.
We do need to bring it back. Disclaimer for until the end of time.
The end of time. Probably should put it on every single,
every episode
note. So, listener, the part of the conversation you were not included in, I received an email. Okay, I'm not real to tell this story.
Oh my god.
I received an email letting us know that we made the top 15 of a group therapy podcast list.
Which is wild.
Which is wild, yeah. So I wrote back.
Honored to be there, though.
We aren't therapists. Please don't include us in your list. It will devalue your list, right?
It's like,
and then Kate checked the actual link. Not only did we make the list, Kate, you want to tell them where we landed? We were number one, baby.
Number one.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
So I think that makes us accredited or whatever. And licensed.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think that's all it takes.
Oh, absolutely.
And then when I told them, it gets better. When they received the email that was like, hey, remove us from this list, they were like, okay, well, we moved you onto a romance podcast list. And I was like, okay. So I started like searching for us in that list.
Oh,
didn't even make the top 40. No. I got bored looking.
I guess we gotta stick to therapy.
Apparently we know where our market's at. Okay. Well, and then Kate is absolutely hilarious, and she's like, "Yeah, we're cock and balls therapy, leaders in our field." Oh my god, I couldn't. That was the first thing that happened this morning, guys. It's so funny.
Yeah, no, that was like I picked up my phone and I read it and I went, "This is unreal."
Well, and then I told Andrew, and he's like, YouTube being therapist is as convincing as Muppets being action heroes.
Muppets being what? All I heard was Muppets, and I was like, you know what? Fair.
Is Muppets being action heroes?
Ah, slander. Kermit would do an amazing job.
I was like, I think maybe we're a little better than that, but also the imagery works, so...
Yeah, Muppets feels very on brand for us.
Yeah, it feels romance writers therapy adjacent.
Yeah. So. That's what we're changing our logos to. Oh, and like wildly enough, just like a weird little detail that the listing for like where we're on the list, I screenshotted it. It used, instead of our logo, which is the only logo we've really ever had.
Everywhere.
I mean, very temporarily for one episode, we made it into like a Christmas kind of themed logo.
Yeah.
But that was it.
Yeah.
It's not the show logo. It was my Twitter picture from like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
It's
an
changed.
Animation of Kate's face.
That's not what it currently is, but also I haven't been on Twitter in forever.
Well, and I'm like, yeah, like Kate's like, how did they even get this picture? And I have no idea. Like, I don't know how they could have accomplished this.
Yeah, it's
all
gosh. Very strange. Very strange.
It's morning. So strange. And they kept on asking us to mention them on the podcast. And like, I
mean, yeah.
I can't.
All right, we did.
But I mean, I can't mention you by name, but we're going to talk about this. So if you guys find a list of romance podcasts and we're not in the top 40, like, keep going. We're somewhere on there.
Or
we're number one in group therapy. So
God, I feel bad.
I feel bad for the other 14 on the list that might actually be therapists.
She doesn't even go here.
She doesn't even go here. Oh my god, I couldn't handle it. That was so funny. What a way to start the day.
Mm.
Listener, also, what you don't know is today, as we're recording, not the day you're listening to this, because we don't know when that will be. It'll be the future. But today is Kate's birthday.
Oh, yes.
And that's important for you to know. Happy birthday, Kate.
Happy birthday to me and like a
Happy
bunch of
birthday
other
to
people.
you! Yeah. Well, we do usually share our birthday with people. I don't know anyone. Oh, I know one person that has my actual birthday, but we don't hang out with them. So,
is there a reason, or is it just like, no, I don't like you. You stepping on my shit.
Yeah.
Get off.
I mean, there is a level of like, that is mine.
Oh, no, 100%. I do feel that whenever like someone else named Kate in any form of Kate steps into the room, I do get weirdly aggressive of like, hey, get out of here.
I don't have that problem with Amanda, and I think it's because like I had to be cool with it. Like it was literally the most popular name the year I was born.
Amandas. Like,
yeah.
I know
Heather Locklear played that character on a soap opera, and we all got named after her. Also, apparently her character is a total B, and our parents were still like, that's her. My parents didn't name me after her, but I think that's why the name was relevant at the time, right?
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, so I'm not possessive of my name, but my birthday I weirdly am. But if I ever see Paul Rudd, I'm going to have to tell him. Like, I know it. Like, I will not be able to stop myself.
We share a birthday, like, sir.
We share a birthday, and that's a creepy thing for a stranger to know about you. Have a great day.
I mean, his IMDb's out there. What's he gonna do?
Yeah, it's true. So, yeah. Listener, that's what's going on in our lives. We're just out here kicking ass and taking names. Having birthdays.
It's 2025. My God.
It is 2025.
I want to hear about your plans for the year. We haven't done this yet for this season.
Oh my gosh. We haven't?
We haven't. I don't think we have.
Gosh, I wish I brought my planner down. My plan for this year is to finish editing Remy and Alicia and release it. I think it'll be somewhere around June. And that feels like a really solid timeline. I feel like I say that every time with my plans. And then every time I'm like, crap, I'm at the end of my plans. I gotta get it all done. But it feels really solid. It really does. Just depends on how fucky the draft continues to be. And then I want to write a short story about a side character that was present in Accidentally Under Your Tree and also Remy and Alicia. Publish that this year as well. I think it'll be around Halloween. That's my goal there. Because I am writing like a haunted, like, high school story. They're not high school age. They're grown ass adults, but it's relevant. Okay. Trust me on plot. Okay. And then I started school. So that's very exciting.
Can't wait to hear about that.
Yeah. It's already like I've only done the first week, and already it's like taking an idea and making it material. Does that make sense? Like I feel like I understand more like how to break down marketing and use it to my benefit. Okay. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm really excited about this class. And then real estate's doing great. The kids are amazing. Do I have any other plans? Oh, I have to kind of sort of think about a shared world or like shared theme anthology short, like a novella length that will come out next year, but I probably will start getting it written this year is what I expect. What about you? What do you got going this year?
This year, so this podcast is probably going to come out after this thing releases. It's my short story collection. I feel bad calling it a collection because I feel like that implies like many short stories. It's 3 short stories, but they're like 15,000 words a piece. So you get at the end of it, almost a full novel. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's good.
They're good.
Yeah, and I'm enjoying them. So they're all so it's called Tales from the Orchasm. Laugh now.
Which is hilarious.
No. It's I don't
Do you not like your title?
What?
Tales from the Orchasm? Are you not happy with your title?
Oh,
the way you like paused and like kind of stammered made me like You don't freaking love that?
No, I do. I think it's it's a little dumb.
Yeah,
I
but
think it's
it's
a
so
little too
funny.
on the nose. But
It's so funny.
I wanted to use this title for something, so I'm like, you know what? Might as well.
I think
Yeah,
it's a
so
great one.
it's 3 short stories involving big green orcs and various sizes of heroines.
Okay, so you have that coming out.
Yeah, that's going to be out in February. I say with my fingers crossed. I have to turn the last short story into the editor this week, and hopefully that'll be done. I want to finish one more chapter for it at this point, and I want to go through one of the short stories and just kind of add some more details. I think it should be quick and easy.
I was waiting for like a beta copy. Is that not
Oh
happening
yeah,
anymore?
no, I'm gonna do it. What happened is like this past week I had to go to a trade show for my day job, and it
Mhm.
just absolutely, I did not get to do anything I wanted to
Yeah.
book wise. There's that. I wanna finish because I'm very close to finishing the sort of my dessert project, the henchman and the reporter story.
Yay.
I want to turn that in February to that my our editor Heather too. Um,
Heather.
Heather. I don't think it's a hard February 1st deadline. I think it's kind of a any time in February deadline.
Uh-huh.
So hopefully I have enough time to finish that. I think there's like 5 more chapters I want to add on to it. And then I want to put
5 more chapters. That's quite a bit.
I have them outlined,
Okay.
but like I'm trying to like hype myself up and like actually write them now, which is,
Yeah. Its own process.
that part like when you write something and you know that you love it, and then like a couple weeks later you've reread it a number of times and you're like, I don't love it anymore. Do I need to change
Yeah.
it because it's bad? And the
Yeah.
answer to
Mood.
that is no. You just don't like it because the novelty of it has kind of disappeared. But I think
Absolutely.
that opens up its own question of, if the novelty of something isn't enough to like sustain it, do I want to replace it?
Well, but I also think that you can't look at it from the novelty of a reader, right?
Yeah.
Like, I love Pride and Prejudice. I have the
Yeah.
hardest time sitting through an entire viewing of it now because I've seen it so many times, but that doesn't make it any less wonderful the way it is. And it's just a completely different experience than being the person that's making it or the person that's taking it in.
Yeah. And it's such a, you just have to like
Yeah.
walk your mind around until you're like ready for it.
The feelings of, is this good? Or is this like, this is bad? Like, those are real life feelings and they suck, right? Because, like, there's no way for you to tell yourself, like, no, it is good because of these reasons, right?
Yeah.
So, like, in those moments, I always go back anytime I read it and got like a good reaction to you, like with our critique group,
Hmm.
and that helps me. But it's hard. It's really hard to convince your brain that like it is good and you haven't just spent a ton of time writing something that you need to trash. Right?
Oh, that is the
um
hardest part. Do I need to trash this?
well, and like that is like kind of where I'm at with this Remy and Alicia edit. Like, you heard me when I read that chapter. I was like, now that I'm reading this, I'm realizing like I need to rewrite this entire chapter, right?
Yeah.
And both you and Moss were like, no, 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 like just make these changes and everything's cool. And I'm like, I don't know. And then I'm still feeling that way about the first chapter. Like, I love the changes that you guys suggested for that second chapter, totally doing it. But the first chapter, I'm still very like, is this good? Like, is this good enough? Will people continue reading? Like, there's so much weight on that first chapter.
And so I know you do dual point of view stories,
Mm-hmm.
and this one is one of those. I can't remember if, because I know we've talked about it because it's something I complain about for my stories, is when you do the dual point of view, you might feel bound to kind of fall in this A B pattern.
I do not.
You do not. Okay.
I don't feel that way at all. I feel like the pattern is useless. What's the most effective way to tell this scene is like my position on it.
I do have a thought if you're
Uh-huh.
open to it.
I'm open.
Because so like there's the changes I think we made to the second chapter, or the suggested
Mm-hmm.
for the second chapter, being that like she has that moment where she's like, I need a towel, but I just moved here and I didn't unpack one
Mm-hmm.
before I showered, and now I'm scooting around with a dish towel,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
trying not to like go in front of my curtainless windows that I just moved.
Yeah.
Like, I love it. It's just the comedy of it's so rom-commy. Like,
Yeah.
it really
Very
has
much
that
so.
vibe. And I think we kind of talked about what if she kind of glimpses like a piece of her neighbor out there. Like, you could mention that she glimpses like the tie-dye scrubs, and she kind of just that. And she goes, oh, I gotta stay away from the window.
I have created like some tension with the window and the neighbor.
Okay.
So that is in it. I have been toying with, do I switch the 2 chapters around?
I was just gonna suggest that. Like, that was my thought. Like,
Because there's so much more life in that second chapter.
there
but
is.
It messes the timeline up.
Does it?
It's not that I couldn't rewrite it, but it does mess the timeline up. I do want him to have the reaction that he has in that first chapter of like, it's not the person I think it is, to have it revealed later in the book that this is exactly who I thought it was, and this is the worst scenario it could possibly be, right? Like, I do want that because I really do like how it sets up just how traumatic this is for both of them to be in such close proximity.
Right.
Because listener, they're divorced, and they, through rom-com accident prone behavior, or not even accident prone behavior, but like rom-com rules, they end up being next door neighbors sharing the same duplex sort of thing. So like they each live on one half of a building, of a house, but it's not a house. Anyway, you guys know what a duplex is. And so I really like the way that like kind of sets up like future scenes and stuff. I don't know. I've been messing with this.
Oh, I feel like timeline, especially like, I don't know how much of the timeline it messes up for you. Is it just that like he starts out at home and you want him to like drive to there's a lot of back and forth that you would need to cut out?
What it messes with, I could start him like at the office, right? Like I could do that. So I could start, oh, that's interesting. I could start it at the office, but then we wouldn't be in real time when he saw his neighbor, right?
All right.
So I would make her chapter 1, and then I would start it at the office in chapter 2, and then maybe he has like a moment of like still thinking about the fact that he saw the back of his neighbor, and she looks so much like Alicia, but like she's not Alicia. Everything's cool, right? Like there is that possibility. That's interesting. That might work.
Okay. I hope you have your answers.
I think that's the way to do it. So I have this draft that I wrote before writing Accidentally Under Your Tree. So before I wrote it, edited it, and published it, I wrote the draft of Remy and Alicia. And I can tell you, I wrote it fast, so there's that. But like, I have definitely done a lot of growing as a writer, and coming back to this level of writing is pretty astounding. And it's that in alone as an experience is so strange. Does that make sense? Like,
You feel like your writing is the old stuff is worse? Or just
it's
different?
definitely not the same quality. I think also like I wasn't, how do I put this? They were so much more in their head than I would have written it today.
Okay,
there would have been a lot more movement and less thinking, more action, right? And so
Okay.
really, that's a big part of how I need to make the changes to the scenes. But like one of the things that I was thinking that we could talk about was when you wrote the scene in your draft and now you're coming back to it in editing, and the scene looked a certain way in the draft, and now you have to kind of like shift your perspective on the scene to really clarify if that's the best way for the scene to go, or if you can change the perspective to bring out something better. So the way I was describing this to Kate before we started recording was like, when I wrote the scene the first time, it's almost like the camera was stationary. But now in the rewriting, I feel like the camera is moving and switching shots, and there's a lot more movement on screen, right? Like the way it was written before, if there was a camera fixed on her, you really wouldn't have a whole lot to see, because so much was like kind of in her head and like how she was like following her own trail, right?
Right.
But then now in the rewrite, this could translate to a screen and it would be an interesting scene to watch.
It would be
And I'm not
dynamic.
saying every scene in a book has to be like that, but I do really like the life it's bringing to this scene.
All right, I get that. I feel like you've heard me talk about a number of times that I feel like I always start chapters off very in my characters' heads, and I'm trying not to do that so much.
Mm-hmm.
I think like not that there aren't good times to like be in your character's head, but like it does if you hit the same note too many times, you know, it'll feel monotonous.
Well, and I think also, like, if everything is in your character's head, then are you leaving anything for the imagination, or are you explaining everything to the reader through their thoughts, right? Like,
yeah, are you over explaining something?
Or, like, can you leave something for the reader to infer and keep them more engaged in the story? How do I put this? Keep them more engaged in the story, but, like, it's like creating intrigue. Dude, I am so sorry. All that beeping just happened. It was apparently I have a calendar alarm in my phone, or like on my Google calendar probably like 3 or 4 times, because it was like, no, really, this is happening. Like,
this is so important for right now.
This is so happening right now. But yeah, so I think that that's one of the benefits of getting out of your character's head so much and like having things happen to kind of reveal them, is because like then you can kind of withhold more and create more like interest.
I think
Does that make sense, or am I
No,
just kind of talking?
No, I think it makes perfect sense.
Okay.
I think it's kind of it does really follow what you're talking about. I think the history of like television, the way that the art form kind of grew.
Yeah.
If you want to go back to, let's say, the 1960s, one of the biggest shows on TV, Star Trek TOS, at the time, or I can't remember if it was actually big at the time, but it became a big show.
I believe it was big at the time.
I feel like it had
the
to
woman
have been.
who played, it was very big, because it was really big that like the woman who played O'Hara was a black woman, and like she was going to quit the show. Uhura, thank you. She was going to quit the show, but MLK was like, no, don't. like you are so important right now. So yeah,
and the show had like the first.
It was just revolutionary.
On TV interracial kiss. It was a huge show, and it was wildly progressive for the time, and like it's wild. Like, I'm just gonna like get on my soapbox here and say it's wild when Star Trek fans are like, the show's so political now. It's always been fucking political.
Yeah, dude. No, but for fucking real.
For fucking real.
But, like,
what show were you watching?
Anyone like makes a comment like that about fantasy or like sci-fi, you are clearly missing the mark. The entire genre is entrenched in political commentary. That is what it is.
Yeah. Okay, we're so off base. What I wanted to tell you is like, if you go back and just like watch any episode from literally even just season 1 of the original series of Star Trek, and just pay attention to the way that the shots are sort of formulated. They all kind of have that, either they're standing very far back so they can fit everyone in the shot, and you know, it's like, or it's a close up of, you know, from the shoulders up to the head, and like, it's like, so all the shots feel very static, and they kind of occasionally very slowly kind of clip from one angle to the next, but there aren't very many. You can probably count them on one hand, you know, in each scene, like how many different cameras are like camera angles are happening, which is like just a fun thing to, if you're into like TV, something you dissect. But like, I feel, you know, pretty like a good rules, a good yardstick to kind of measure like where TV was at in that time, and the way that the grammar of the visual edit has kind of become more complex over the years. And then you see, we get more camera angles, we get moving camera angles, we get tracking shots, we, you know, like things will slowly be like just through at, like, you could just stay in Star Trek and do like witness this phenomena.
Well, and then like to bring us back to the point of like sometimes a stationary camera is the answer.
Oh,
right?
Absolutely.
Like, but like the series that Netflix released about the Menendez brothers, not the docuseries, but Monsters, right?
All right.
There is an episode that is incredible, but like we couldn't watch it. So like check your trigger warnings, friends. He's talking about the abuse. But the shot in the episode, like, I watched way more of it than I would have because of how interesting the artistic choices were.
Mm.
So the only face in the entire 45-minute episode that we see is the younger brother. Anyway, I
Okay.
can't remember his name at this exact moment. But anyway, the only other person in the entire episode is his lawyer. And we see her walk in, but we only see like her bottom half of her body. And then she sits down and the back of her head is to the camera. And so we only really watch him emoting, acting, all that stuff, right? And the camera does not move the entire episode, but it slowly pans tighter and tighter to his face.
Mm.
And so it stands out so much, not only within the show, but within all television. And like, I mean, movies too. Like, I've never seen an entire episode put together this way. And the acting is absolutely incredible. Like, it is a really well done scene. Again, trigger warnings. And the episode really stands out, but because they made that choice, and it's not a normal choice that they make, right? Like, it's so interesting. So I don't think there's anything wrong with being inside your character's head, but like, it's like anything else, you just have to pick and choose your moments.
Well, yeah, I think if you want to be very inside your own character's head, because, you know, being outside of it will like give away part of like a reveal that you're hoping to like, you know, make an impact with.
Mm-hmm.
Choosing to stay very much inside your character will add to your story and like help build like elements of tension that way. If you don't intend to use it to create some kind of effect, I think it's always good to ask yourself, like, what can I be doing to hit harder with this?
Mm-hmm. Well, and like if you're intending to be in the character's head, you just have to know your intentions and why, right? Is it to, like you said, keep the reader from seeing something that's happening outside of them? Or is it to like deepen the connection between the reader and the character and like really bring the reader like their whole world into this one character's like moment?
Mm.
And I think that it can be really powerful, but like it's not the way I wanted to start the book. When I came back to reading Remy and Alicia, it wasn't sparking anything.
Yeah, like the thing by itself is not inherently powerful, you know?
Yeah.
It can be
Yeah,
used
exactly.
to that effect, but you have to do it deliberately and you have to like line things up very specifically.
And so like being in the editing stage and having the opportunity to like be objective about like, this is not accomplishing what I wanted to accomplish. And then like having, for one thing, friends to tell you like, hey, this is what I would change about it. I think that this would really liven it up. Also being willing to completely change like the scene to make it work. Because I don't think any of the messaging of the scene, there were some things that like I could withhold, right? But I don't think there was anything wrong with the like scene and content, but the way the content was coming forth was the problem.
Because you're talking about editing kind of making you objective. And this is what I really like about having large chunks of like literal time between reading something and giving it another kind of like once over with the paintbrush or whatever.
Yeah.
So one of my little 3 stories that I'm working on, like it just the one that I wanted to add a chapter to so that it would fit into this pattern that the other stories had. I remember when I was reading you guys this story, I was complaining a little bit about it. Like, I don't feel like it's hitting these notes hard enough. I don't feel like the third act breakup moment is more kind of central. All the tension and all the emotion is really centered around this character's internal growth rather than like the two characters relationship together, which to me is like in a romance, you do want like the relationship to be at the forefront of the plot and the story. It is important, but I think it does take a little bit of a backseat to kind of the female character's sort of personal arc of growth. And coming back to it, like I've found like a bit like just the right spot to be like, okay, here's where I'm going to cut this off and where I'm going to add in another chapter that's really going to like bring the relationship back to the front of the story.
Sweet. Yeah.
And it really is that like feeling less precious about something because you've gotten like, I think we were talking about it a little at the beginning. I think sometimes you have a very specific idea like I know you said no to this, but I think I do
Mhm.
understand what you're talking about. You do have a very specific idea of like what you wanted your story to be. But like as
Uh-huh.
time like passes on and like you kind of flesh out the story a little more, maybe it doesn't hit those marks of what you initially kind of envisioned it as.
Uh-huh.
And you kind of find yourself at a crossroads of, do I continue to try to fit it into this original vision that I had? Or do I kind of give myself a little time to let go of that vision and walk into experiencing the story just the way it is currently and see where
Mhm.
I can strengthen it from there? And that allows it to be kind of its own thing, even though that I didn't meticulously plan out and execute things the way I wanted to.
Yeah. I also agree that like time allows you to accept changes that you would not have been able to accept before. Like us having this conversation about how the beginning of this book could change. I wouldn't have been able to have the emotional detachment from the opening scene because I had been thinking about that opening scene for probably like a year before I started writing it, right? Probably a year and a half,
Mm,
right? And so, not necessarily thinking in terms of like, oh, it has to start like this because that was my plan, but like I was attached to the way it started. And now with distance, I'm able to think more about how the plan maybe got me started writing it, but it isn't actually where the book should start,
mm,
right? And I'm
yeah.
still not fully committed to this isn't actually where the book should start, but I'm definitely committed to like I'm going to do the rewrite we just discussed and see if it feels better. And I have a very sneaking suspicion it's going to. I think it will. Yeah, there's a lot about it that's going to go better.
God, don't you hate it when something falls into place like that? It's like, now I gotta
Oh,
do the
it did
work.
too. Oh, it did.
Ugh.
Okay, the way I just said, "Oh, don't you?" Like it reminds me of that Shorzy.
Oh my God.
Oh, I'd be so good to you.
Oh, I'd
Every
be
day you'd
so
wake
good to
up, I'd be so good to you.
I'd be right there being good to you.
You and your 4 roommates? 5.
The number of times I've
I
sent
love
Marty
it.
a TikTok with one of those like sounds on it.
Oh, it's so good. But yeah, so anyway, I feel better about this conversation. Listener, I don't know if you got what you needed, but I did. So,
I'm glad.
remember that episode last season where you were like, "Well, this episode's just for me?" I kind of feel that way about this episode.
You know what? I think you deserve like as many of those to just soundboard out your problems.
Yeah, I think we all do. Kate, do you have a piece of writing advice?
Oh, do I?
Do you?
Oh, I am kind of trying to sit with what constitutes my idea of worthy and creative, or like
Oh,
what makes something good. I know this is that's a deep one.
you are going to have to explain your existentialism here.
Oh, the type of humor that I gravitate towards. I think I see a lot in like the movies that my dad would show me when I was a kid. You know,
Mhm.
he likes a very sort of dry humor. So
Mhm.
there's a lot of like very British dry humor that like, so I've like watched a lot of these classics that like have this vibes. And so when I think something is when I think something is a good joke, like what makes a top tier joke, it like
Mhm.
there's this kind of like internal logic to it. It has to like check certain boxes off on like it needs to like reflect back on itself, or it needs to be self-referential in some way, or it needs to
Okay.
like be ironic in a bit, like, or it needs to like and so I guess that's why I find that kind of stuff funny over like
Okay.
fart jokes, I guess.
Everyone loves a good fart joke.
I see, I feel bad because I'm not a fart joke person. I would
I know,
like,
I'm really not either at
but
all.
like,
But like, I don't know. I
oh,
feel like fart jokes are the equivalent of us talking about how boners are funny.
okay,
Right?
yeah.
They're different, but they are the same.
Boners will always be funny. Like
Boners are fucking hilarious.
for listener, this capsule in time. David Lynch passed either yesterday or this morning.
Mhm.
And we're seeing a lot about. I'm seeing a lot of people like talk about his art and the way that he like his legacy, revisiting like what people talked about and how people reacted to things like Twin Peaks at the time.
Mhm.
And if you haven't seen Twin Peaks, it is such a interesting like
It is weird.
experience. It's weird,
Yeah.
but at the same time, like I think it does such a good job of like really pulling you into the moment and like really living in these absolutely anguishing emotions. Like and because
Mhm.
it's doing it too because it's like it's hitting like it's just holding this one note down on this like electric keyboard and like that's what it sounds like, and it's like you're gonna sit here for 10 minutes and it is weirdly a beautiful experience.
It is. Well, so Andrew and I watched a couple episodes of it, and in the end, we were like, "This is a sensory nightmare. We cannot."
Yes.
Right?
No, that is exactly it. Like it's sensory hell in so many ways,
Yeah.
and yet like
Well, but I think also like it's making its own statement.
oh,
It is
absolutely.
not trying to be anything else. It is very much not
And
making
yet
any
it
excuses for
communicates
itself.
itself
It is
so
so bold.
perfectly. You know,
Yeah.
it's if I feel like people try to like apply some kind of weird like they try to like insert a sort of rigorous logic to his works
Mhm.
when really it's just about feeling the emotions that he's presenting you with. And I don't know, I think I really like Twin Peaks, especially the first season. I think
I would be willing to give it another shot sort of thing. But then I also know that the ending is fucking terrible. And it
I think if you go into it knowing that it's about the death of innocence and like
that's interesting. But okay, so bring me back to your existential crisis.
uh
How do you decide that your work is worthy?
how do you decide that your work is worthy? I like it's or what makes this like the good joke, you know? I'm always
Mhm.
trying to like I think the thing that's always going to make me happiest in someone's reaction to my work is did I make them laugh?
Mhm.
That's what I'm always aiming
Yeah.
for, and I spend a lot of time trying to figure out what makes other people laugh. And you know, when I see that disconnect between like, well, I would not find this funny because it's just not my thing. But like what's the mechanic here, you know?
Mhm.
Sometimes I like overcomplicate things for myself and they have to hit this sort of criteria in order to
Mhm.
like be for me to consider it good, but it's like maybe I can just put this here and it's good enough on its own because I liked it at one moment and I don't need to over-examine it.
I think there's a lot of truth to that. So when I think about, yes, I want my work to make people laugh. Like I want that. That is definitely a huge intention.
Mm.
And that was one of the great things. Cheap Smut is another podcast, and they did an episode about Accidentally Under Your Tree, and hearing Katie, one of the hosts, talking about like the moments in that book that like made her laugh or like gave her a reaction was such a great experience, right? Like, oh, thank goodness the intention worked.
Right? Like
But
someone
like,
laughed because like through the page, like
yeah, because I did it, right? Oh goodness, another alarm going off. Sorry guys. But I do think that you can take a step back and be like, this is funny because I found it funny and I won't be the only one. Like, it's like if we were to spend too much time thinking about like, well, I don't do this trope because I'm the only person that likes it. You're not the only person that likes it. Lots of people like that trope. Write
oh
what
my
you want to
god.
write, right? Like, I feel like you're right that there is like you don't need to analyze it to its molecular level. But I say that knowing that one of the things I really love about you is that you do think so deeply about about what you do and why you do it, and then also about humor and art from a larger scope, right? Like you pull back from it and you're like, oh, okay, this is funny because sort of thing. And you start like seeing all the pieces where I'm like, it's funny because of vibe, right? Like I feel like that's one of the things that I would never want to discourage you from doing that because I think it's so interesting the way your brain works. But it's like just because you can't justify why something you wrote down is funny doesn't mean it's not funny, and it also doesn't mean that it shouldn't be there.
True, true. It's just like kind of trying to incorporate other ways to like make something creative, you know, and make it feel
Mhm.
good. And, you know,
Mhm. Yeah. I feel like that's exactly what we've been talking about like editing and like changing the perspective or like rearranging the way the scene is in order for it
yeah.
to like kind of pull you in deeper. Do you want my piece of writing advice?
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Always. Now you need one.
That I wasn't that I
Was
wasn't
not
thinking about.
prepared.
I should have just been like, so where can they find you? Like, so my piece of writing advice. My brain is like, it's just got nothing. You have to actually do it.
You have to sit down and actually do it.
This is my biggest struggle right now, where I'm like, I'm not making as much progress as I want, or I'm not moving as fast as I want, or like my deadline's gonna come up on me, and I'm like, well, girl, you have to actually get your ass in the seat and do it. Like, it doesn't just get done. You gotta do it. And so that is my piece of writing advice.
I dig it. I always appreciate just sit down and fucking do it.
Yeah. And like nothing's gonna be perfect about like the circumstances. If you are like me and you're having a hard time not looking at your phone, ooh, this is another thing I'm doing. I am not allowing myself onto social media before 12 p.m. And I am finding that I'm on it so much less in the evening because of that deadline. Now, right now, I don't know what's happening with TikTok. So today I've been pretty fucking loosey-goosey because I'm like, if you're going away, I'm going to spend time with you. So
I'm gonna get real addicted to you right before the
real quick
off.
And then you'll just pull the plug on me. So get real addicted. Let's be real, it's been an addiction for a minute and a half. So
that was my thought. I was like, I've been using it a lot too, so I was like, you know what, it's just like, do I try to like pull off now, or do I like wait till like I have to go cold turkey?
Yeah, exactly. So another thing that I've been struggling with, and this will be old news by the time it gets to you, listener, is the other forms of social media I use and like weighing my social responsibility to my like business responsibility. Right? Are you also struggling with that, or is this just me being like so fucking extra about it?
No, I think like the way that having to perform on social media as a business entity instead of like the way you might use your social media if you're just like hanging with your friends, like the transition from like person to brand is weird and a little bit of a mind fuck.
Not getting rid of my Meta accounts, right? Like that alone is like something I'm really struggling with. But like I also know the professional reasons why I'm choosing it. I don't know. I do want to figure out something else to like centralize the way I communicate, because right now Instagram is my main like social media that I'll communicate on, right?
Yeah.
And I don't have a different solution for me yet. I did see something that was like, this is Instagram, you know, back before. And I don't remember what that app was. Maybe by the time we talk to you again, listener, I'll be able to tell you. So, but Kate, do you want to tell them where to find you?
Oh, you can find me at kate-pryor.com. My socials are usually at by Kate Pryor. Yeah, I think that's it. I got books out. Look at them. Buy them. Read them.
Yeah.
Or just read them.
Do it. Just give them a good old fashioned read.
Yeah.
Like in the printing press days.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I am Marty V. Oh, we didn't tell them who we were in the beginning. Hopefully by this point you've been able to figure out our voices.
Really, it's just important that they know we're not therapists. That you don't need to know our names. You just
as if that wasn't fucking obvious.
Listen, it's not apparently.
We made the list.
I need to take all the PhDs out of our summary.
Yes. Jesus. Okay, I'm Marty V. You can find me at martyv.com, and you can sign up for my newsletter there, which is honestly the best way to communicate with me. I am usually Marty V author. That's usually my handle on places, and that's how you do it. Listener, you have a great day. Thanks for being here. And we'll talk to you later, okay?
Bye.
Bye. Are you doing your thing? Are you being weird?